Hello viewers, welcome back again with me Nadia Happy in your voice segment. And now I'm here sitting with the famous culture observer from Bali, Mr. Made Wijaya, or we call Stranger in Paradise. Hello sir, how are you?
Fine, thank you, Happy.
Well sir, as we know that there are many unique culture in Bali are found. So as a famous culture observer who has lived in Bali for more than 30 years, can you explain exactly about Balinese culture, especially the unique one like PEDIKSAN ceremony?
Well, the PEDIKSAN ceremony goes for quite a few weeks, if not months. It's the stage in a Brahmin, the highest caste, life when he takes the vows of chastity, and he and his wife or wives become high priests. It's an ordaining ceremony or a purification ritual when in fact, traditionally, they need to die, mati raga. Sometimes, as in Ubud recently, they're actually wrapped and buried in the grave and then brought to life again with the kick on the head by their nabi, their guru, the higher Brahmin who teaches them. So it's usually a very secret, mystical ceremony. I've only seen it twice, once in Mungu, once in Denpasar, and it's rare that one gets to photograph because usually photographers are not allowed. So we'll see in today's presentation, perhaps for the first time, the insides of a PEDIKSAN in the famous, it's called the Jorogadeh. It's a princely Brahmin family. It's quite unusual. I mean, all of the modern, post-15th century, post-14th century Balinese religion, the Agama Bali Dharma, Hindu Dharma, comes from the Dalam dynasty from Srika Pakistan in Klungkung, who was a Brahmin who saw the need for a good king and became a king. So there is a tradition in Bali of Brahmins becoming Kshatriya princes, which is very unusual. You also have princes who become, like the present Prince of Klungkung, who become Bujanga. Sorry, not Bujanga, Bagawan, who become Bagawan priests. They're not Brahmin priests, but they are Sulingi, they are high priests. So today is that ceremony of a man becoming a high priest and his wife.
Okay, so sir, as we know that SANUR is a tourist resort now, but why there are many Brahman ceremony are held in SANUR?
Well, unlike Kuta and Seminyak, SANUR is a very ancient village. Kuta is from Kota, which means a small town or a trading place, famous for its fishermen. SANUR is famous for its Brahmins. One of the earliest Bali kingdoms, the Sri Warmadewa kingdom, was based in just near here, in Blanjong. And Intaran is a very old, SANUR Intaran was called SANUR Intaran. Now tourism did start, modern tourism did start in the 60s in SANUR, the famous Tanjung Sari and Wau Runtu and Patriasa from the tourism board getting together and deciding it should be sort of culture tourism. It's because they came from SANUR, which had a very strong cultural backbone with the Brahmins. Now this ceremony we're going to be seeing today is in a Banjara, a sub-village unit, which is 100% Brahmin, which is very unusual in Bali. So SANUR is one of the Bali villages which is called Brahmana Kwasa, like Mungu, Mas.
As we know that SANUR is famous for its culture also and also the tourism. So there are there a lot of foreign tourists who visit SANUR especially like spiritual tourism, not only for the enjoy the resort or something like that?
Well, in the 1930s, SANUR was very much on the map for anthropologists and art historians, the famous Covarrubias who wrote the book Island of Bali, Miguel Covarrubias from Mexico, Walter Spies from Ubud used to come down to SANUR, Catherine Meissen lived there, she wrote 7+7 Trance and Ritual in Bali. It was one of the centres. These days it's more for the people that like the old Bali. They have Balinese friends who work in the hotels, who they know from the art shops, who will take them home. You do see quite a lot of tourists at ceremonies in Bali, particularly at the big Malis ceremonies to the beach. SANUR being an eastern-facing beach, the great Nehru from India, President of India, first President of India, Prime Minister of India, called SANUR or Bali the morning of the world. meaning it was the easternmost extremity of what was called Father India through the ages, through history. Because for many hundreds of years, nearly all of Southeast Asia was Hindu before the arrival of Islam into Sumatra and Java, and it ended up just in Bali and West Lombok, really where SANUR represents the sort of glittering eastern edge that faces the sun being Surya, very important to the Shiva 8 Balinese, who worship Lord Shiva more than any other deity. So SANUR has that special status. It's a great place for ceremonies to the sea, which happened around the time of the Day of Silence, Nyepi. So if you stay in SANUR, you get a lot of ritual, a lot of processions.
Okay, viewers, now we are going to watch Mr. Made Wijaya presentation about PEDIKSAN ceremony in house of Ide Bagus Centana Putra and his wife.